Hello everyone, my name is Oktay Arjun, and welcome to the second part of my introduction to the English vowels. If you haven't seen the first part, you can go and check out the first part on my channel. But in this part, we're going to talk about the nurse vowel, we're going to talk about the pronunciation differences, we're going to talk about the strat vowel, we're going to talk about lot and false vowels, and we're going to talk about face and go diphthongs. So let's start. So in order to start with the nurse vowel, the nurse vowel, as you can see, it is between the vowels schwa and palm. So it has a sound like like as in nurse, it has a sound. So we also in the Turkish language have a similar sound in our language. We have the sound, and that sound is represented in our alphabet with the letter. It doesn't exactly, reflect what the nurse vowel has, what the nurse vowel sounds like, but it represents it enough. So if we were to look at the examples of the nurse vowel, we can see that you can have the same sound with different letters in the English language. So as you can see from the example, U, E, EA, I, and O letters make the same sound in the words. So I'm not going to read all of the examples out loud. So before me, you can see, you can try to read and see if you pronounce them correctly. So you can do that before me. So I'm going to read them correctly. Like for the U letters, you can say nurse, turn, third, burns, or church. You can see that there is a certain sound in like those words. For the letter E, you can say fern, heard, burn, refer, prefer, or stern, right? For EA, you can say yearn, learn, heard, or early. For I, you can say firm, bird, first, skirt. Or for all, you can say word, worm, verse, journey, and kernel. The kernel one is a bit different to say for me, a bit difficult to say for me, sorry. But I mean, as you can see with different letters, you can basically have the same sound in the English language. They all make the same vowel. They all make the same sound of the nurse vowel. So if you have completed the course, I'm sure, like I'm 100% you've seen this example. But if you haven't seen it, I'm going to explain it to you. So in this example, you can see that Vladimir Putin is in a candle match, I guess. And in this match, he's giving a speech to the people of Vienna. And he talks about, he says that he's going to say two words to the people of Vienna. So when he says the word, he doesn't pronounces it as a nose vowel. He kind of pronounces it as word, like word, not quite not quite but somewhere between and So he says like word. It's, I mean, you can see examples like this can affect your intelligibility, but I mean, in this case, it's not very impactful in the in this situation because it doesn't really change anything. But yes, you can see that he pronounces a different kind of way. He pronounces the nurse vowel in a different kind of way, which is fine, totally. So, as we said in the nurse vowel examples, you can have like too many letters that sound the same, or you can have the same letters that sound completely different. So as you can see on this example, you can also try and read this before me. You can try to read them correctly. But as you can see on the left side of this example, you can see that each and every word has a different letter, but when I read them out loud, you're gonna see what's the problem here. So, okay, let me read them out loud. So, very, friend, Jeffrey, leisure, says, sweater, Thames, and better. So as you can see, each and every vowel is different in each and every word, but the sound they make is just same. It's the same. They all make the same air sound. But as you can see on the right side, the like every consonant that is highlighted is the same, but they all make different. How should I say different voices? So you can also read them out loud if you can before me. So I'm going to read the correct versions of it. So like bone, done, gun, cord, word, womb, woman, or women. As you can see, they all have the same O vowel, but each and every word sounds in a different way. So this is the reason why so many people, while they are trying to learn the English language, find this language very hard to learn because almost every word has an exception, like these examples. It makes harder for learners of English to actually learn the language. So these differences happen because of things like, as you can see from the example, homophones, homographs, or vowels, silent letters, and all that things. So what is a homophone or homograph is that homophone is a thing where you write two different words, but you can read them as like same. So when you write wait and wait, as you can see, I pronounce them in the same way. When you say wait and wait, you pronounce them in the same way. So that is a homophone. What a homograph is that you write the same. What was it? You write the same sentence? No. You write the same thing. We can go with the thing. You write the same thing, but they sound completely different. So as you can see from the example, you can say conduct as a noun is different than to conduct as a verb. Or you can have a word that starts with a vowel, and let's say, but consonants make sound. So as an example of it, there we have usual, or you can have a silent letter that, I mean, it's in the name, it's silent, you don't read it, you read it as like thorough, or you can have two letters but one sound, as you can see both from the thorough and enough. The GH sounds at the end represent different sounds. For thorough, you don't say like GH, you say O. For enough, GH represents like F. So things like this make it very hard for people to learn this language. I mean, these things make it pretty hard to learn the language. So before coming to the start vowel, I'm going to talk about what is known as a great vowel shift. So a great vowel shift, as you can understand from the name, is a shift that has happened in the English language to the vowels. So I think, if I'm correct, this took place between the 15th century and the 17th century. So before this vowel shift, you would read words like in this example, mud, foot, blood, put, and cut, like wood, fought, blood, put, or could before the great vowel shift, right? So these O and U sounds after the great vowel shift change into a more like an U sound. So mod became mood, sorry, or blood became like blood, like blood. So these oo sounds also changed in a way in order to create what is known as a foot strut split. So these oo sounds split in a way where you would read put and foot in a different way, and you would read strut, cut, and blood in a different way. So this is why we have this kind of split that uh, has happened in the 17th century. Uh, if you remember it from the part one, we also have seen a split in the trap vowel. Uh, and I mean, I guess this is the in the same period. So as like from the trap vowel part, this vowel change didn't happen in the northern parts of Britain. Like people in northern Britain still uh, pronounces words like strut, cut, or blood as like it was before the 17th century. So again, strut vowel makes like an sound, as in blood. So as we've seen in the nurse vowels, the different letters make same sounds like u, o, u, and we have like exceptions like o and oe together. So sun, fun, bun, run, none, cut, bud, or gun. You can hear that rut sound, right? Or done, none, sun, once. Uh, you can see the sound. And as you can see from like none and none, you can see that this is a homophone. I mean, this is another reason why people can't uh, pronounce some certain words. This is a homophone, like here, none, and none. We have young, touch, country, cousin, and courage in OUs. And as an exception, we have blood and does with double O's and OE. So again, if you've completed the course, you would have seen this example also. So if you've seen it, I'm going to explain it again. So what happens in this example is that the Dutch Prime Minister, Mark Rutte, gives a speech to the Chicago Council, to not the Chicago Council, sorry, to the people of Chicago. And he, in his speech, he pronounces the word introduction not with a strut vowel. He pronounces as if it was like introduction, like introduc. He doesn't quite pronounces the strut vowel correctly, so he says introduc as as in place for introduct. So R changes into oo. So changes like this, yes, they can affect your intelligibility, but uh, it is it makes a unique way of your speech. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that it makes your speech unique. I mean, changes like this. So it's completely okay to have these sort of changes in your pronunciation. It makes you unique. It makes you one of a kind. But if you want to be more intelligible, you can decide to pick up another accent or something. So if you come to the lot and thought vowels, we have, as you can see on the right side of the vowel diagram, you can see lot and thought on the right side. So lot makes an O sound and thought makes an O sound. Thought, like thought. So to me, thought vowel is like a lengthened version of the lot vowel because O and O kind of sound the same to me. And if we would look at the examples of that, for the lot vowel, we can say dog, body, was, want, quality, squash, gone, cough. As you can see, there is a quite distinct O sound there. But if you look at the thought vowels, you can say obviously thought, law, saw, draw, thought, ought, daughter, and caught. As you can see, there's an R, not O, but R. It's sort of like a prolonged version of lot vowel, although they are completely different, but they sound relatively close to each other. So if if you look at the face and go diphthongs, you could say, I mean, we've looked at diphthongs in the first part of this presentation. If you are not quite so sure, you can go back and look at them again in the first part. But we are looking at face and go specifically in this one. So to remember what diphthongs is, that diphthongs are like glides between vowels. So in the case of face, you would go between A and E. So you would go like A, so face. And for the case of goat, you would go O and U, like goat. So yeah, these are the differences of it. And of course, again, if you've seen these, if you've completed this course, you would have also seen this example. So this is a full Monty sketch, I guess. In this sketch, they're talking about the guy with the gray coat talks about how dancers are quite coordinated and they are graceful. So in this example, if you have heard the sounds of it, you can almost quite say that the guy, I mean, kind of swallows the diphthongs. He starts with a vowel, but he doesn't glide it through to the other vowel. So when he wanted to say coordinated, he doesn't go coordinated. You should have gone A, but he goes coordinated, coordinated. So he goes with A, like he starts with A, but he doesn't go to A. So he says it coordinated. As another example of that, we have the word graceful. You should have gone to aceful. You should have started with A and E, and you should have guided to from A to E, sorry. So, but he says as graceful, graceful. So he starts with, again, with E, but doesn't quite follow through. So yeah, I want to look at the specific example of it. So, I mean, thank you for watching both of these parts of the introduction to the English vowels. So I hope I can see you again in the third week. So see you again.